Hey you guys, so it's Winnie from Stakecito, and today I am going to be covering Babylon, a super innovative approach to enhancing the security of proof of stake blockchains using Bitcoin's substantial idle capital. But before we dive into the details, let's talk a bit first about some exciting news. Babylon has recently raised 70 million in funding led by Paradigm with contributions from Polychain Capital and the venture arm of the crypto exchange Bullish, who were some of the founders of the EOS project. So yeah, this capital will help Babylon to advance its plans to build staking on the world's largest blockchain, Bitcoin, and allow proof of stake chains to tap into Bitcoin's deep reserves. One final thing I want to get out of the way is the fact that Babylon is a project that Stakecito is currently, providing support for on testnet. And so we would love for you all to interact with us by delegating to our node on the testnet. So now that that's all out of the way, let's dive into Babylon. So what does Babylon do? Babylon leverages Bitcoin's massive capitalization, which exceeds at this moment $1.4 trillion to secure proof of stake chains. And by enabling Bitcoin holders to stake their assets, Babylon is providing robust security guarantees without requiring Bitcoin holders to bridge their assets to other chains. So yeah, this not only enhances the security of proof of stake chains, but it also offers yield opportunities for BTC holders, making their otherwise idle capital work for them. So let's zoom out a bit. And as a lot of you probably know, proof of stake blockchains need significant capital to secure their networks. And unlike Bitcoin, which is a proof of work chain that relies on computational power, proof of stake chains depend on validators who stake their assets. And so, yeah, the staked capital acts as a security deposit that can be slashed if validators misbehave, ensuring that the network remains secure. That is proof of stake in a nutshell. The problem with this, though, is that attracting sufficient capital to secure proof of stake networks can be very challenging, especially for smaller or newer chains. High inflation rates are often necessary to offer competitive rewards and attract stakers, which can hinder the long-term growth and utility for many chains. Bitcoin today remains the largest crypto asset, secured by the proof of work consensus mechanism. And so, unlike proof of stake assets, it does not use its own asset to secure the network, resulting in most of its capital lying idle. So the TLDR is essentially that Babylon aims to unlock this potential by enabling Bitcoin holders to stake their assets directly to secure proof of stake chains, offering them a way to earn yield without transferring their Bitcoin off of the BTC blockchain. So yeah, Babylon's staking protocol is essentially designed to allow BTC holders to stake their assets without moving them to these proof of stake chains. This ensures full security guarantees for proof of stake chains while maintaining the liquidity and security of the staked Bitcoin. So what are some key features of the protocol? Key features of the protocol include full slashability, where up to 1/3 of the Bitcoin staked can be slashed in the event of a security violation. There's also staker security, ensuring that Bitcoin stakers can unbond and withdraw their funds as long as they follow the rules of the protocol. And finally, maybe not finally, but additionally, the protocol does support fast unbonding, allowing stakers to maintain liquidity without prolonged lockup periods, which is the case with a lot of proof of stake chains. So yeah, one of the main challenges that Babylon addresses is bridging Bitcoin to proof of stake chains. Traditionally, this has involved bridging solutions that rely on centralized custodians or multi-sig bridge committees, which introduce trust and security risks, or as we like to call it, a single point of failure. Instead, Babylon adopts a remote staking approach where Bitcoins are locked in a secure contract on the Bitcoin chain, and then advanced cryptographic techniques enforce slashing directly from the Bitcoin chain, ultimately enabling trustless staking. And I don't like the word trustless. It doesn't mean there is a lack of trust. It just means there is a lack of the need for there to be trust. Yeah. So exactly how does this work? Let's walk through a Bitcoin staker's journey on Babylon. So imagine Winfred or Winnie, and I want to stake my Bitcoin on a proof of stake chain. First, I'm going to lock my Bitcoin in a self-custodian vault by sending a staking transaction to the Bitcoin chain. This Bitcoin can only be unlocked using my private key in one of two ways. The first one being an unbonding transaction, which allows me to unlock my Bitcoin after a relative lock time, or a slashing transaction, which will send the Bitcoin to a burn address. So there's only two ways: I unbond or I get slashed. Once the staking transaction is confirmed, I can start validating for a proof of stake chain by signing blocks using my key. If I follow the protocol honestly, I can issue an unbonding request, and after the lock time expires, my Bitcoins are returned to me. However, if I turn malicious, my private key will be leaked, allowing anyone to burn my Bitcoin, ensuring that safety violations are penalized. So yeah, Babylon's technology is built on several key components. Staking contracts are expressed using the UTXO transactions in Bitcoin script, and these contracts include staking, unbonding, and slashing transactions. And in addition to fast unbonding, the proof of stake chain must be tightly synchronized with the Bitcoin chain through Bitcoin timestamping, ensuring that unbonding requests are processed quickly and securely. So yeah, Babylon's architecture includes a control plane between Bitcoin and proof of stake chains responsible for providing Bitcoin timestamping services. This essentially acts as a marketplace for matching Bitcoin stakers with proof of stake chains and recording finality signatures. This control plane is implemented as a Cosmos SDK-based chain, facilitating efficient interaction between Bitcoin and proof of stake chains via the IBC protocol. So yeah, Babylon is not just bringing security to proof of stake chains, it is also empowering the Bitcoin ecosystem by introducing new use cases for Bitcoin through staking and timestamping. So if you think about it, it's actually acting as both a Bitcoin staking protocol, staking and restaking, and a timestamping aggregation network. Babylon's protocol is essentially enabling security sharing between Bitcoin and proof of stake chains. It is also allowing for restaking, where Bitcoin stakers can take on additional slashing risks by staking on multiple chains. This concept, similar to EigenLayer's restaking, extends Bitcoin security capabilities across various proof of stake networks. So yeah, I'm going to keep this short. I find that it's just a lot easier to digest information when it's not too much. But yeah, my final thoughts are just that as Bitcoin continues to evolve, it is very likely, very possible that Babylon could play a very vital role in its renaissance, inspiring new trustless use cases for an enormous asset class. And so we're super proud to be finality providers at this moment for the Babylon testnet that is currently ongoing. Please join us, stake with us, engage with us, and yeah, let's contribute to the Bitcoin ecosystem by way of Babylon. So yeah, up until the next overview, goodbye.